Welcome to this tutorial, which is part 1 of the series to make to-do app using HTML, CSS, JavaScript. And in this part 1, I'll be doing the code for HTML only, and rest of it in the next parts. Okay, so we have to do a container, right, for this app. So the container is a div with an ID of to-do app. You can call it whatever. And then you need a header with a heading. So this is the to-do app. So I call it to-do app within the open and closed h1 element. And remember, a to-do app also needs an input field. So I have to make the input tag, which is self-closing with a type of text, because you're going to input the text, name of text and ID of text. And then remember, it has a placeholder in which you will enter the text. So just write enter text inside that. Simple. So the input field is ready. Then what else you need? You need another container within this main container in order to have other items. So in this first particular div, I'm making a container. I'm making a class of add, putting a class of add, giving a class of add rather. Why? Because this is for the button, for adding the buttons. What button is it? The add button. So I call it the ID as new. Why? Because I'll be adding new items, so I call it new. That's up to you, whatever you want to call. You can call it the add button. So button ID is new, class is new, and then I also add the font awesome icon tags open and close with a far plus. Class of far plus. Why? Because this is for adding. So if you need the plus icon or the add icon, you have to use the font awesome icon element with a far plus. Give it a bit of style with a color white. That's solely up to you how you do it. Yeah. Okay. Then after that, then after that you need another container. So you've done the input field, you've done the button ID, the add button. Now what else you need in order to make the to-do list? You need to have some to-do items there, right? List of items. So you make another container, you call it wrapper because it will wrap all the items inside. Now in order to make the items, you need unlisted element, which is UL with ID of to-do, and that will wrap all the list items together. As we know already in HTML, inside that you have the list item open and closed. Now first you write item 1, you can call it whatever. In my case I wrote item 1, and then inside that you make another item. Why? For adding two buttons. One button is the clear button or the remove button, another one is the completed button, because for each item you have to do this, right? Whether you after adding you want to clear it, you want to remove it, or you want to edit it, or you want to mark it as done. So that's the reason. So the button, first button, which is the remove button, has a class of remove, and I'll be using the icon tag of far with a class of far trash. Why? Because this will show the trash icon. Yeah. So this is for the removal of the items in case you need to remove. Then you add another button here with a class of complete. And why is this used? For marking as complete or done. So in this, I'll be using the icon tag from font awesome again, which is a class of far check. Why? Because this will show the check tag, the check icon I mean. So first one was a trash icon, this one is a check icon. Trash icon for deleting, check icon for showing I've completed or I've done the item. Or I finished the item, finished doing the item. So this is for your convenience. Whenever you do the to-do task, you want to record as done item, or you want to delete it, you don't want it in the list. So that's why you need these two lists. So it's quite simple. I've already done the header, I've done the input field, I've done the add button. Then after that I made another container for doing the list items within the UL tag, and then the list item, every list item will have the remove button and with the trash icon, and the done button with the check icon, using the respective icon tags from font awesome. So now I'm just doing, I finished for the item 1. I will keep doing this for item 2, item 3, for as many items. Like in this particular scenario I've done for item 4. So I just keep on repeating. I would suggest normally you can save time by copy pasting for item 1, item 2, item 3, item 4, but I suggest doing it over and over again, typing it, so that you will remember the code very fast. So this is the best way to remember. So just keep typing it. So I've done for item 1, now I'm doing for item 2, and so forth, so on and so forth. And if you want to see more such tutorials for front-end web development, just remember to smash that subscribe button so that you can grow very fast with me in this journey. And I'll be doing lots of free tutorials on these kind of projects with simple steps. And as I mentioned earlier, in this particular tutorial, I am just doing the HTML coding. I'm doing it here only the HTML so that you can understand it bit by bit, step by step. It's better to do that way for beginners. So in this part, you just learn how to do the the HTML code. Next part, I'll show you the CSS, and the last part I'll show you the JavaScript. So it's easier that way. So as you can see, I keep repeating it for all the items. Item 1, item 2, and now we are in the item 3. So by doing it this way, the code gets repetitive. See, all of them have a UL ID already. All of them have a list item with the item mentioned. All of them have a container inside the list item with two containers that inside that container. With two buttons, one for removing and one for checking as done. And in both of them, all of them, I've used the font awesome trash icon with the respective class for removing, that is getting the trash icon, and for completing, that is a check icon. So this way you'll remember it better. You can do a bit of style, but that is not necessary in this particular scenario. This particular scenario is just for understanding what tags are being used, what elements are being used, why the class is being used in order to get what. So that you're already seeing it here, and then keep repeating for as many items. If you want to keep repeating, you can do for 6 items. That's up to you. And now we are already done with I think item 3, item 4, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so you can see it will go on until the end, and you won't make a mistake. Yeah, as you can see, the last until the main container, I've covered almost everything. And as usual, I do the style for color of red for the for checking the item is done, for showing the completed items. Oh yeah, sorry, we finished item 3. Now we are on the 4th item. So this is, I believe, the last one, but if you want, you can do item 5, item 6 just for practice. In fact, I would suggest you continue until item 10, so that you have a solid practice. By the time you finish inputting these codes, you already you would have already remembered the code syntaxes and the HTML, and you never ever forget all this. How you do for the list items, how you do for the input field, how you do for the open and close buttons, how the class is done, and how the container is made. If you keep repeating and typing instead of copy paste, you'll remember it. And then we are finished here. See you in the next tutorial, in which I'll cover the CSS for this, and then after that, in the next part, I will cover the I'll be doing in all different steps. See you. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button to grow in your front-end development journey. Okay, so that's about it, and do remember to share and like.